video on making little macaroons. So these will be for our tree, but you could use them in wreaths. You can use them on your tier tray decorations, just laying around your house, anywhere you want. So I'm actually going to make 4-inch ones, but we'll probably be making some smaller ones as well. And all I'm doing is starting out with one of the 4-inch discs. I get these from Amazon. It's a lot less money if you buy these several at a time. And then I'm going to show you how to get the right shape that you need. And we are not going to be using clay or spackle. So the easiest way to start is just to take and kind of trim off a very little part of the edge. You don't want to trim a lot, just kind of that point that's on there. And you could do it with an X-Acto knife, a foam knife, a kitchen knife. What we're doing is kind of getting that straight edge off, and then we will sand it to get a smooth surface. Okay, let's do the other side. You don't need to take a lot off, just a little. I do like this particular cutter. It's a straight bevel cutter, and I like it because it's actually easier to hold on to because of this grip. It is a little bit more than just a regular X-Acto knife, but I tell you, it does cut through foam board really, really well. This is more for like foam board and kind of cutting off edges and things like that. This is not going to cut through a large piece of styrofoam. Honestly, cutting through large pieces of styrofoam, I just like to use my kitchen knife, my serrated kitchen knife. It works a lot better. You're going to need some sandpaper. You want pretty fine grit. I like to use the 400, and it is going to kind of make a little bit of a mess in the beginning, but you're just going to sand down the edge. Like this. Get that edge rounded on both sides. And then I generally just kind of go all the way around the edges like this. You want it to be nice and smooth. Don't try this with a low grit sandpaper, like 60 or 80, because it's going to really tear it up. You do want this finer grit. And you see how nice that is and how it has those nice rounded edges. So now we have the cookie part of our macaroon. Then I'm going to take a 1/4-inch piece of styrofoam. Now this is these are polystyrene. You'll know it's polystyrene because it has the little bitty pieces, little ball pieces. So what I want is smaller than this. So generally what I'll do is take a pen, mark it like this. Okay. Then I'm going to cut inside that. So a little bit inside there. this is probably about 3 inches. Yeah, about 3.5 inches. Okay. All right, and then we're going to take our sandpaper again, and we're going to fix our edges because we cut it. So this will be our filling. Macaroons are one of my favorite things. Love them. Okay. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is how it's going to look, right? Just like a macaroon. And there are so many ways that you can do these. You can paint them and put glitter on them. You can cover them in fabric, and we're going to do several different ways. I'm going to get a few more ready, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I have all these ready, so we're going to start putting some together. Some of these we're going to paint. So I really like to paint these and add the glitter. It just comes out super cute. So what I do is I start with some of our sticks. Love these things. They make it easy to help paint things and to dry. So I just put them in like this. It's going to make it a lot easier to paint them and to get the glitter on them and to set them aside for drying. And of course I reuse these over and over until they've had it. And then I pull out new ones. We're also going to need to do the insides. Now you can see the insides are not very round, right? They're a little bit lumpy, and I'm okay with that because some of these we're going to paint and keep in there, and some we're actually going to put something on top of. You can even put two together and put them, so if you wanted to have, you know, a thicker center like this. Okay. So we're going to do some of these centers. So now that we have them all ready to paint, we're going to start getting our painting. Alright, so what I do is I take craft acrylic paint, and then I'm going to add Mod Podge onto it. I like to put my Mod Podge in this container. It's easy to squirt it out, and I can buy the Mod Podge in the big container, which becomes a lot more economical. So I mix these two together, and then I'm just going to brush it on. So this polystyrene, it is very smooth, so it's easy to paint it on. If you use something that has a rougher texture, then just dab at it. Do the dab. That'll help get that paint in there, and this is going to seal and paint it. I'm going to go just a little bit on the inside, but not all of it, because I don't need to, because you're not going to see the inside. I just want to make sure that I get a little bit, but certainly not the whole thing. There we go. Okay. Having the stick really helps so you don't get it all over you. And it's easy to twirl it while you're getting the paint on. Okay, so then we're going to take a paper plate and some glitter. There's all kinds of glitter. Now I wanted these to use a chunkier glitter, so this is actually glitter from Hobby Lobby. Most of the time I use my glitter from Wreath Decor by Dawn, but she has the ultra fine glitter, which I use for most of my projects, but there are some projects where I'm gonna need to use a chunkier glitter. Okay, so I wanted the chunkier for a specific reason. So with these, I believe that they just look more realistic if I'm using the chunkier glitter. I just like the look better. Sometimes I will put the fine glitter under it and then the thicker glitter on top. So you can see how pretty that looks. Okay. So now I'm going to take a little extra piece of styrofoam and plug it in there to dry. And then I'm going to do the second one. So each one needs 2 pieces. Okay. I usually like to try to start at the bottom. Okay. Okay, so same thing. We're going to glitter it again. So these are going on a tree. So I think that the chunky glitter works super well against the Christmas lights. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the chunkier. Okay, there we go. You just want to make sure it got everything. Okay. All right, so then we'll do another one. Okay. Now, to get the glitter back in the container, you just take the lid off, take your plate, bend it, and then just use it like a funnel. I like to kind of thump on it to try to get any extra off, and then I'll usually just kind of brush it off. Okay, that way I can kind of keep using the same plate over and over. Now I'm going to do one that's a little bit darker, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the same spot because it is pink and it will get itself out. Okay. I'm also okay with toning the pink down a little bit. So I'm just mixing it in with what's left over of the lighter pink. It'll still be a hot pink, but not quite as bright. If you're mixing colors with your sponge brush, make sure to kind of push the paint out of your sponge brush to make sure you get that mixed in, so you don't get little streaks when you're painting. Okay. I like to use these kind of plates. I can wash them off and reuse them. And they have little sections, which I find helpful when I'm painting. Okay. Now, we're going to use a brighter. Let's see if I've opened this one yet. Yeah. Okay, so this one is a brighter. Okay, I just want to make sure I get it nice and coated. There we go. I just kind of tap on it. You can see how pretty that is. Okay. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit so I can still use this. I just don't want there to be any pink in the parts that I will be putting yellow. So I just clean it up a little. That way we don't get any little yellow particles in, or pink particles in the yellow. Same thing with the paper. These usually wipe off really well. And then you can just reuse them. So now we'll do some yellow. And I won't show you all of them. I just want to show you a sampling so that you can see. Right, now we'll use the yellow glitter. I love this. It is hard to find. It can be hard to find yellow. This is one of my favorites. It's just so bright and cheery. Love it. Okay. So I'm super generous with it, and then I'm checking to make sure I got all the spots, and if I see some that didn't quite get it, I'll put some more on. Okay, so we got the outsides done. Let's do an inside so I can show you that. And I do want to say, there are going to be different ways to do the inside. So you don't have to paint them all. If you're going to do a different way with the inside, and I will show you a couple of ways, then you're not going to need to paint it. So it just depends on what you're doing as to whether you need to paint the center. And since I'm using Mod Podge, I keep a little thing of water in here. And I put my brushes into the water, my foam brushes into the water immediately, because it does have Mod Podge, so that is a glue. And you want to get it in your water when you're done, so that it doesn't harden your sponge brush. Now we're just going to take our white. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to just do white. Mod Podge. Mix those up. The great thing about this is that you can just do the edge if you want. You can skip doing the inside because it is not going to be showing. You can paint it if you want, or you can skip it. It just really depends on you. Mostly I do the edges. I might brush a little bit on the inside. All right. Then I have this, basically it's like snow glitter, but what I want to do is I have this ultra fine white glitter, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on first. So the reason I do this is because it is pure white. This is the ultra fine. I love the pure white because it really makes the white stand out, okay? So then what I do, you see how white that is? I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll put just a small coating of Mod Podge on top of it, and then I will put on my chunky. Okay. So that's how you do the centers. The centers are pretty easy. I'm going to show you one with just the chunky. So we just do the same thing. Okay. I mostly like to brush the insides because I don't want there to be paint globbing up on the sides. Now, this way you'll be able to see kind of what the difference is if we just have some of this on it versus some of the under parts. Okay, you can see I put this on chunky as well. And there's a lot of different ways you can do these. Okay. There we go. So that's that one. Alright, so when these dry, I'll come back and we'll assemble them. We'll do a little bit of detail and then we'll assemble them. And these are a great size for a wreath, for a tree, for just like pretty much any project. I like to use just a little fingertip sprayer because they have misting. I put Mod Podge and water in here together and then just kind of shake it up, and then I can mist it right on. It is so much easier and faster, and it'll turn out great. It will seal in all of our glitter. I find this so much easier to do than trying to paint Mod Podge back on. That can take a little while. This is my favorite method. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry and then we'll come back and start putting them together. So I'm just going to take them off their sticks here. Look how pretty that is. Of course, these have been sealed and everything. And I'm going to do one more fun thing on them. So what I want to do is I'm going to put some little stuff along the edges just to make it even more fun. Now, I got these beads at Hobby Lobby. I love these. These are so much fun. They're just little foam beads. And so I'm just going to take some Mod Podge. And take a little foam brush. Okay. And I'm going to hit the side here like this. Just like that. And then I'm going to roll it in those little sprinkles. It's super easy. So if you just put these in a container, it makes it super easy to do little things like this. I just have a little container that we put leftover food in, and I just brought it up and that's what I put it in. Look how cute that is. Okay. All right. So we're going to let that dry for a little while. And I'll do the other one. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of line these edges. You can use yarn, you can use glitter rope, sprinkles. You can also do some spackle or some foam, some of the spray foam. I really like this though. I think it just kind of goes with the whole look. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I just want to let them dry for a little while. So I'm going to do this one as well. So we're going to let these dry, and as soon as this dries, I'll come back and we'll assemble them. And we're going to put our little white piece right here in the middle. So that's our icing. And then you can see we have our little macaroons, however you want to say it. Okay, so I'm gonna just, and some of the beads will fall off, and that's okay. As long as the vast majority doesn't fall off, it should be fine. I'm just gonna get some glue on here. Pretty good amount. Okay, and then just plop it down. There. Okay, and then the same thing on the top. It is a low heat gun, but there we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Look how cute that is. All right, so to put a hanger on it, we're going to take our little fishing wire. Now, this can also be used for jewelry making, so if you get the kind that's jewelry making, that works as well. This one is 0.8 millimeters, so you want something that's at least thick enough that it will hold your item. All right, so I'm going to take my awl, very important tool, and I'm going to punch a hole in it and kind of go back and forth a little bit. Then I'm going to take this, put a little glue in that hole. Then I'm going to fold it over, push it in there. I kind of doubled it up. Then I push it down as far as I can get it. And we have our hanger. Look how cute that is. Okay, let's do the other one. See how cute that is? So cute. All right. Let's get our little hanger. I do kind of push the glue down in there. That way I can make sure that it's gonna really adhere well, so I don't have to worry about it falling off. I usually cut about a 10-inch piece. There we go. So I take it at the ends like this, pull them together, and then I fold that in half so that I have 2 loops, and that's what goes in there. And I just push it down as far as I can. If I can't get it down real far, I'll just trim off the little pieces, but generally I can get it down pretty far. See, and then my hanger, can't really see. The other way that I like to use is I like to use fabric. I have this really cute fabric that has little sprinkles on it. So this is a great one to use. And for this, you're going to need your glue gun. So I generally like a couple of inches past where my styrofoam is. So if this is a 4-inch, then I'm going to do probably a 6x6. Let's see what this is. Yep, this is about a 6x6. Slightly more. And you can cut these with your rotary cutter. They work really great on fabric. This is actually just a tiny bit more than I need. I'm just going to kind of trim a little bit off here. I just want you to see just how nicely the rotary cutters cut the fabric. Look how nice that is. Nice clean edges. So I already took off the offset seam. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the center. And I'm going to cut little slices, kind of at an angle. Okay. This is going to help so that we can keep this round shape. And we will deal with the corners. I do like to cut at a diagonal, and I like to use the smaller scissors for this. It does work better. They do work better. You need very small, very sharp scissors. These are Fiskars. Okay, I will tend to cut some of the corner off. Okay. And then I will cut my slit or slits at the corner. Okay, this helps keep that nice rounded shape. And it helps with not getting so many of those little bubbles. Okay. So once I have everything ready, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the glue along here, and I'm going to stretch these up and glue them down, just like this. So then you can see what that does is that gives you a nice, smooth, rounded edge. Okay, and you won't see the slit because it'll be on the inside. Make sure you're using a glue gun with a low temperature glue or a low temperature glue gun. Okay, so while we're waiting on the glue gun, we'll go ahead and get the other side ready. So this is the fabric. So you can see this is where the little offset seam is. So we don't want that part, we'll cut that off. But I want to get about somewhere around 6 inches. Okay. Okay, and then let's do and then right here. There we go. This is a polyester fabric. It's very stretchy, but you can use pretty much any kind. I just really liked this pattern on it, so that's why I chose that. So I'll get this little seam off. There we go. Get this a little bit straighter. It's not really gonna matter, but I just kind of want to work with it with a little bit straighter. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. So just like we did with the other one, we're gonna cut our little slits. In the center. I'm not going to put glue on this side because there's a good chance it would show through. So you don't want anything lumpy or bumpy on the other side. So I don't generally do that. I'm going to work on the bottom side where you're not going to see. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue on here. Okay, and then I'm going to just pick it up and pull it across. Just like that. And I want to stretch it and be pretty tight and hold it as I'm going around. That'll make sure that that's going to stay. Okay. You just want to kind of make sure it's smoothing out as you go around. There we go. You're going to trim off this excess just so it'll fit together nicer. Okay. It's better to have too much and not have a problem where you don't have not enough, because that would be a problem. Okay. And I do work in small sections. When you're working with a low temperature glue gun, it can tend to dry a little faster, so you want to work pretty quickly. There we go. Okay. See how cute that is? Okay. Trim that off. There. Okay. 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 Okay, so if I have any places where it's kind of bunching, I will just kind of pull my fabric and just kind of re-glue it a little. This can happen with the more polyester type fabrics, but this pattern was so cute I couldn't help myself. So there we go. There. Okay. All right, so just so you get an idea, you'll have them sandwiched together like this. Okay, let's do this piece. There we go. So you may have a few little wrinkles, and that is okay. And it's going to depend a lot on what type of fabric you use. So we'll do a different one with a different kind of fabric so you can see. And we'll cut all this extra off. Okay. You don't want there to be a whole lot of extra because you want to be able to have this glue down well. Okay. Now, see how cute that is? Now we're not finished. We do have to do something to the edge of these. So there's a lot of ways that you can cover these edges. One of my favorite ways is to use this glitter rope. I love this stuff. And so what we'll do is we'll put it right along this bottom edge, and that's gonna really cover anything that otherwise would have been seen. Okay, so if you look at these together, okay, then it's gonna go right along this edge here. Okay, so right along this edge. Okay, so we'll pick a place to start. This comes in all different colors. Don't know where my pink is, so we're going to use the white, which is going to be pretty. Okay. we go. Make sure that glues down. There we go. Okay, so then this is going to glue right inside this circle. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue kind of all over here. So that I can make sure this is going to glue down to the surface. Make sure you're using a low temperature glue so it won't eat into the styrofoam. Okay. Oh, how cute is that? Okay, now let's do this half. Okay. No, on both sides are out. Okay, so right along this outer edge. There. Okay. There. Just like that. Okay. All right. Look how cute that is. Okay, so let's get this part glued down. Okay, just gonna hold this together. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. That is so cute. All right, so that is our first one. So what I want to do is make a hanger so that it can hang on my tree. What I like to do is take some fishing wire. I cut about a 10-inch piece or so. Okay. Then I'm going to fold it over and then fold it again to kind of get it to a doubled over point. Then I'm going to take my awl and very gently poke a hole through here and kind of widen it a little. Okay, and I'm going to put this down in there and put a little glue in it. Okay, And then I'm going to take this point, I'm going to push it right down in there. As far down as I can get it. Try to get that down inside there. And then we have a hanger. You see how easy that is? And since it's so thin and small, you don't see a whole lot of the hanger. So let's do one with felt because I want you to see it with a different kind of fabric. A little purple. Okay, so we kind of want about a 6-inch piece. Okay. All right. Put our little piece here. We can actually cut a little bit of this off because it's a little bit wider than we need. It's 8-inch. Okay. All right. Let's trim our corners. Okay. All right, now we're going to start our slits. So it's the exact same process, it's just a different fabric. Okay, all right, now, same process, let's start like right here, okay. There we go. I'm going to hold it while I let it glue. Okay, see how nice that looks? And with the felt, you can kind of push the little edges down to get them nice. Like that. And we will trim off the excess here. Okay. Okay. We're going to do the other half. So same thing. There we go. see how cute that looks? All right, so for this, what I want to do with the edge here, there's so many different ways you can do it. You can put some little ruffly pleated ribbon in there. So this is not the right color for this, but just to give you some ideas. There's a lot of different things you can do, but you can get some really cute little trim like this. And then you just kind of go along the edge like this. That looks so cute. You can also do sprinkles on it. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do something a little different for this little edge here. So I'm going to take some Sam's glitter ribbon, and it is a 1.5 inch. It's wired. So you can only do this, well, you can do it without it being wired, but it's so much easier to do it if it is wired. What you're going to do, is you're going to take and you're going to hold on to the wire, and you're going to start gathering it. Be very careful because this wire on the Sam's ribbon is very thin and it will break easily. So you want to be real careful. Now if you have other ribbon from other manufacturers, you can use that as well. But you're just going to gather it, and I'll just keep going down like this until I get enough of a piece, and I'm going to glue it like this, okay? Okay, and then it'll have the little part on the outside. So be very careful while you're gathering it. You can also accordion it, but I tend to really like this. I love doing it this way. It's just really pretty too. Okay, so this is something you could sit in front of your TV and do, which is probably what I'm gonna do. So I will go and get this all gathered up, and then when I come back, we're going to glue it down, and you'll see just how cute it is. Have the little ribbon made. Now this is going to take patience if you're going to use one from Sam's Club, because the wire is thin. You have to be really gentle when you're doing it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to glue it across here so we have a little ruffle on the outside. You want to start it so that there's only a little bit hanging out. So I'll just put some glue here. Okay, and I want to do it upside down because this is right side up. Just take your time, kind of going and getting it in place. Okay. There we go. So you can see how that looks. So cute. Now I'm going to take and glue the little icing in the middle. Okay. So kind of go all around the little ruffle and in the center. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's so cute. See how cute that is? All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. One thing you can do is leave a little bit at the end just to make sure you haven't made it too tight. Okay, so here's where it started. Okay. And what I usually do is kind of bend the wire in on itself to make sure it's not going to kind of come out. Okay, and remember, you want to see, you want it to be upside down. There. All right. And if it's too tight, you would just kind of loosen it as you go so that you can get it down. If you get some glue on the ribbon, wait for it to dry and then you should be able to just peel it right off. Now we're going to glue this part to this part. So same thing, just get some glue on the ribbon and the kind of the outside. There we go. That's so cute. Look how cute that is. So I'm just going to kind of hold it for a second and let it seal. That is so cute. Okay, that's really cute. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing we did with the other one. Punch a hole. Get our little wire. Okay. Put our glue in there. Okay. Okay. There we go. So we have a felt covered one with the little ribbon. We have a fabric colored one, and we used little glitter rope on that. Then we have some glitter ones with the little foam balls on it. So those are 4 different kinds that we can make and put on the tree. So there's tons of ways you can make these, and of course you can make these larger or smaller. I have to say the glitter ones are my favorite. But you'll have to tell me which ones you like. But they're a lot of fun to make and really cute and great to put on. You can put them on your tier trays, your Christmas trees, your wreaths, anywhere you want. Okay, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you'll know when we're uploading new content or we're live. All right, have a great one. Thanks for watching.